So I used to be very, very lazy. I remember that my brain didn't used to work very well. And I remember as well a lot of the times to lay homeworks, you get what I mean? I was just that type of guy that it's the lazy guy. You get what I mean? I was just like not bothered to do those things, you get what I mean? It was just like very hard. And I remember that I had a friend at the time that we were like both kind of lazy, you get what I mean? And that just not came from just being lazy, but as well because I think both of us had a brain that just didn't work that well. It was like we're like how do I mean, like our brains is kind of in the moon. You get what I mean? It's not really present. I think presence is one of the things as well that, for example, I had a problem with. You get what I mean? And I like, yeah, for example, to wake up early or even to just wake up, very lazy. I remember I don't remember a specific time, but I remember in my memory, basically, that there were some times that, imagine like you have to go to a trip or a specific place, and for that you have to wake up a little bit early, or even sometimes like 5 a.m. to take the plane, or even not take the plane, to just like to go to, I don't know. But imagine that scenario, you probably already have been through that as already. I remember that people, I didn't used to put alarm, but yeah, I remember to be sleeping and hearing my a whole family preparing and say, "Yeah, wake up," and I was like, "Don't want to wake up." You got what I mean? And yeah, these days it's kind of the opposite. You get what I mean? These days I'm basically the one who wakes up more early than the whole family. You get what I mean? It changed. You get what I mean? And yeah, I not just that I wake up more early, but these days I'm just way more productive, you get what I mean, and more disciplined as well. I work and then I train just in the morning, you get what I mean, and then I even do more things that afternoon, you get what I mean, and yeah, I basically work on this channel. I like edit videos, make scripts, you get what I mean, and then I go to the gym and train, and then at afternoon I even do some good habits, you get what I mean, like meditation, things like that. And yeah, I'm trying to become as much disciplined as I possibly can, and as well productive, you get what I mean. It changed, you get what I mean, because I was not that guy. This guy that I'm right now, I created him. That it seems like David Goggins saying, I created Goggins, you know what I mean? And it's the truth, you know what I mean? So yeah, this is why I created this video. Like basically how to go from lazy to productive step by step in 2035, okay? So yeah, I created like a 4-step plan that you follow this. Basically, you're going to go from lazy to productive, okay? So, step 4-step plan, okay? So let's start with the first thing, okay? So the first thing, which just before we start, just don't forget to subscribe button. The first thing that I already spoke about so much times on my videos, let me just drink a little bit of water, which is organization. Organization, I think, is one of the most important things when it comes to not being lazy and to being productive. Because the laziness a lot of the times comes from disorganization. That's exactly it. So I remember like that because I'm sure this was one of the reasons why I used to delay a lot of my homework. It was just because I didn't have a routine of saying like, oh, when you leave school after lunch or before lunch, you do your homework. Because I remember times that I did, I think, before or after lunch, like the first thing before I even played video games. And it felt so good, you get what I mean? But I didn't have a routine, things like that, so I remember times that I would just really delay. There was even a time that I delayed so much that I started doing that shit at midnight. And then my brain was not capable of doing that because I forgot to do that, you get what I mean? Because I delayed like that for like 6 days. And then I just said to the teacher, oh, I didn't have time, you know what I mean? Which is kind of crazy because it's not like from school, it's from extra classes, you know what I mean? You know, one math classes, but that's what I was having. But yeah, it was just completely like it's so more easy to just be lazy and productive when you just go through the day without having a specific time to relax and without having a specific time to do the work. You understand? So I remember when I started creating my first routine, which was very fun. It was more easy. Guess what? It was just more easy. Oh, okay, wake up this time, do this, and then do this, and do this. Then I get back home, and do this, and then I eat at this time, and then I go to sleep at this time. It's just way more easy to not procrastinate. Because if I just like wake up and I say, what I have to do? Like, okay, you know what I mean? It's so more easy to just like, let me watch a video first, or let me watch a movie, whatever. It's basically tremendously more easy to just be lazy and not be productive, okay? So, and I wrote down here an example. It's basically like your routine, basically everything is a mess. What do you expect? You know what I mean? It's kind of a shitty quote, but everything's a mess. So you can't expect to like just be very productive. Think about the most productive people in the world. Do you think that they don't have a routine? Do you think that they just like go through the day, decide when they are going to do that specific thing, they decide when they are going to wake up? No. The most productive people, basically their day is almost the same, or they probably wake up at the same time. Sometimes they even have the same clothes, the same type of clothes. They don't have to think about it. They eat the same thing every single day. They just don't have to think about it, you get what I mean? They're just like, okay, it's from this time to this time I do this, no. It's so more easy so that discipline fits in, so that you just don't procrastinate. You just don't be lazy and be like, yeah, not bother today. Tomorrow. Later. You know what I mean? It's that's it, you know what I mean? It's like you're going you want to build the dream physique, and then you go to the gym, but you haven't organized your workout. You get what I mean? It's like, yeah, you can do that, but it's like it's kind of disorganized. It's kind of difficult for you to build your dream physique, especially for a beginner at the gym, because then you're going to just forget some things that you didn't know that you had. It's basically like you want to build a dream physique, but you haven't learned exactly the exercise that you have to do, or even some exercise of specific muscles that you don't know that you can build. You know what I mean? It's basically going to the gym and I want to build a dream physique, and then you end up just training a couple things, and then you keep training, but some things you forget, like clothes. And I remember when I did the calisthenics, I kind of forget that you could train chests. But now I understand that like doing push-ups is kind of training chests. But yeah, it was kind of, I did something wrong, because then one chest became bigger than another. And these days it's almost the same, and I'm correcting that. But yeah, it's kind of that, you know what I mean? It's just kind of a mess. It's a mess what you expect. Can't expect it much, okay? So that you can take action on this, you just have to do something very simple, which is just go on Google Calendar or download the app on your phone, but I recommend more to that on your laptop or your desktop. So just go on Google Calendar, which you know where it is where it is Google Docs, where it is Google Photos and all of that, okay? And Google Drive as well. So you go there and you create your routine. Try to just remember what I'm going to say right now. Have no fucking blank space. Make sure you don't have blank space, because when you have blank space, that you don't have fun. Because when you have blank space, because one thing is like, I'm going to put a routine that at this specific time I'm going to watch a movie with my friends. If you just have blank space, you're going to end up just doing shit, like just scrolling TikTok and just wasting your time. which, you know, scrolling, like watching TikTok is not even fun. It gives you dopamine, but it's not even that much fun, especially when you're like watching for a couple of hours and you're like with some shitty posture and you want to stop it, but you can't stop scrolling. I had those moments. I think it was in 2009. No, I think it was in 2020. That's when I think I started watching TikTok because it was kind of a new thing. But then I think in 2023 I stopped doing, or 2022. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just like this is for retards. But yeah, make sure you don't have blank space, and because you're just going to end up wasting your time. And make sure that the blank space, if it's something that you want to do to relax or whatever the fuck it is, put that thing, but don't put blank space, okay? And the second thing I'm going to tell you, which is going to help you to be more productive and not be lazy, it's just to try to have every day as much the same as you possibly can. So if you have like a day that's always super different, you go to the gym in a different time, you wake up in a different time, you eat the things in a different time, it's like kind of more like a mess. You want that so always the same that you don't have to think about it, that it's just so easy for you because you just already know what you have to do exactly. So try to always wake up at the same time. Try to always go to sleep at the same time. When I say this, you know I'm talking about the weekend as well. Because there are some people saying that there's actually like a new studies basically, I think it was Andrew Huberman or something like that they're saying if you can reach the best, so that you can reach the best quality of sleep, it's more about consistency than quantity. So yeah, try to do that, to create just basically try to wake up and go to sleep always at the same time, and to eat at the same time, to work at the same time, to relax at the same time, to go to the gym, to exercise basically at the same time. Try that, okay? As much, like if it's very repetitive, it's always kind of the same, and you start getting used to it, it's going to be way more easy for you to not procrastinate, to not be lazy, but to be productive. I'm telling you that. It's just a fucking truth. Okay, let's go talk about the second step. The second step to, well, I'm always drinking water when I'm like talking about the steps, but the second step is basically no distractions. That's it. If we have no distractions, bro, this makes a fucking noise, bro. Shit. But yeah, this was a problem, you got. I mean, because I always wanted to be a YouTuber. So I think since like I think 6, 7, 8 years old, I grown up watching Brazilian YouTubers. I think in the beginning it was more Minecraft, but just watching people that I guess were kind of rich. They had kind of their nice life doing YouTube, recording videos. Okay, that's a nice thing to do, and they make a lot of money with that. So I created that standard that I wanted to live a life like that as well, not like the normal life. You get what I mean? So I always wanted to be a YouTuber, and I created channels, and but the problem is that I just didn't have. I had a lot of distractions. Maybe you can argue, oh, you were still a kid. I can understand, but especially like when I got to 12 years old and I was 13 years old, and I was still distracting a lot myself because of the video games and all of that, and I was trying it. It would. It's like a time that the thing you have to understand here is like people start getting depressed, I think 13, 14, 15, 16 years old. That basically means that's a time that you already have to be doing it. That's something that you want to do, a goal that you want to pursue. And for some people it's cool, but a lot of people it's not. So they end up just not having shit. They don't have any goal. So that they just end up wasting their time, and they are more likely to be depressed, as I was, you know what I mean? Not like clinical depression, nothing that, but I was a sad time for me. That I can say that I was depressed, basically. So I always wanted to do that, you know what I mean? In my first channel, I was kind of more young, so I understand that, but I always was trying to create a channel, but then changing my mind, just distracting myself, then create a channel, then stopping posting, and it was just like kind of a mess. And then when I stumbled upon like the more self improvement content about productivity, about business, all of that, that's when I changed. But the sad part is that I was probably not gonna change, or probably was not gonna change that as soon as I did. Because it's not like, oh, you're kind of young, you don't have discipline, and then you get more older that you're more disciplined. If you don't have if you don't build a discipline in the very young, you get what I mean? At least like, I think people usually build discipline these days with like some martial arts that they start with 10 years old. You know what I mean? If you don't build that thing, you're just going to be kind of being a lazy adult. You understand? So yeah, the distractions were a big problem for me. You get what I mean? I always went to do that, but like just playing video games, it seemed more easy. Even though I did it a lot of times, was just like creating projects that I didn't continue. And but yeah, maybe we can say that was not even a problem. And because I'm happy, I'm happy to be where I am. I'm not like really sad about that because I'm becoming what I wanted. But it could be a problem, especially if that habit it continued, and it would continue. I'm telling you, it would fucking continue for a very long time, for a lot of time. It would fucking continue, okay? Because it's like you build up a race. You know, there's races, it's specific races that people build for like not like a race 25 kilometers, a marathon, but like a race for those people that basically want to, how do you mean it? It's like the race that the person that runs the fastest uses. It's like that small race. Imagine you build that thing, okay? It like carries like 4 spaces for like 4 people to compete, and then you build that, and then you want to compete. Having the distractions, it's like you put a fucking rock on your specific room corner, or on your, I don't know, I don't remember the name, but yeah. Imagine everybody has no fucking distraction, has not a rock in front of them, and you have basically having distractions is putting a rock right there. So when you're going to run, it's kind of a distraction. Maybe you're going to jump, try to jump it. Maybe you're going to fall. You understand? It's like kind of have like just a fucking rock right there. It doesn't fucking help you. So I another example for this, you get me, is an analogy, which is kind of a shit analogy, but just to make this a little bit more entertaining and more understandable as well. Not just entertaining, but it's like, it's kind of a shit example. But I didn't have like another thing to do, like I was trying to build an analogy, but yeah, it's like when you're in Minecraft and you found a diamond and you want that diamond, but you put the obsidian in front of you, in front of that diamond. You understand what I mean? It's like you want to achieve that specific thing. Okay, you understand. We just put something hard, like a rock or a obsidian, and the diamond on the. You understand what I mean? It's like I want to achieve YouTube, but then I put the video games. I put this, and this, which doesn't help me to focus on that. Like, unless my channel was about video games, which was when in my first channel. But even that, okay, maybe I guess I was just very young, but I started like that with 10, 11 years old. So I think I should already be a little bit disciplined. I don't know, like people in the past, bro, even like 12 years old, they were all at least are more disciplined. These days, everybody's weak. They think that if you're not 18 years old, you can be lazy as fuck. But I think that's just a way to make, especially men, more weak. But yeah. So, okay, you understand now, like, having distractions kind of like like it's kind of not intelligent, not being smart if you have some distractions. So how will you take action on this? Basically, you have to understand what you want, exactly what you want. And especially if it's like something big, you have to be willing to, I will not say sacrifice, so just stop doing something that really distract you. And you know that if you didn't have those things, you would have more time and you would be thinking more about that thing instead of thinking about the thing that you are always doing that is not really a good habit for you, you know what I mean? And especially for me, it was video games, you know what I mean? And actually, I'm going to talk about further, but I was even more extreme. But yeah, the video games was the problem, you know what I mean? I was always spending so much time on that, you know what I mean? Because the truth is, like, YouTube and video games are kind of the same thing. But the problem is, like, the video games are more easy and more dopaminergic, more stimulating for your brain than doing YouTube. Especially when you're not succeeding on YouTube, you know what I mean? Because when you're succeeding on YouTube, it's kind of more addicting because you get a lot of views and subscribers and you start even making money, you get what I mean? But yeah, just basically right now pick up a paper or go on a Notion or whatever place you can write down, and write down, I'll say like three things that, or you want to quit 100% or you to consume way less so you can use more of that time and mental energy, whatever, to put on work to achieve that specific thing that you want, okay? If you do that, you're just going to be less lazy and be more productive. It's just like the nature of the things, you know what I mean? Write it down right now. Like just do not be like, I will do later. No, right now. You have to learn to take action right now. You have to learn to drink water right now. But yeah. But this makes some fucked up noise. But yeah, do that. Don't see this as sacrificing, because it's not sacrificing. It's what you have to stop doing to achieve what you want. So it's not like sacrificing. It's like you're not doing this thing to achieve something that you want more than this specific niche you're doing. So like it's basically being intelligent. Okay, so write down these three things, and now you know what you have to do. Okay, so pretty nice. Subscribe. Next thing. Okay, this is more the extreme part, which is, yeah, one of the best things that's going to help you the most to not be the lazy guy and to be the productive guy. What is it? Dopamine detox, okay? So, for me, working, this is a third step, okay? For me, working was always kind of a boring thing. Not working, I'm also saying working, but it was like, yeah, maybe I guess working, like editing videos, but more like in terms of the studying and all of that, was always kind of boring for me. And more boring than it should be. And as well, like, I can't explain this exactly, but yeah, no, I know how to explain this. I remember when I was to play a lot of video games, the life outside the video games was more boring. This probably happened, oh my god. Sometimes even to eat was more boring, some shit. Because I remember when I used to play video games, I just used to play, not eat breakfast, no. Sometimes even forget to eat if my parents were not counting on me to eat lunch with them, or they were not here. Sometimes even forget to eat lunch. Like, imagine, I think this happened sometimes, like, you're playing video games, and then your parents say, do this, you have to do this. Do this for me, clean this. Doing the thing is so boring, it's the most thing that you hate the most. These days when that happens, I still can feel a little bit that way, but not as I used to feel. And then if you played a lot of video games, or you have been in that digital world, that it's very stimulating. Everything outside from really the real life, it's extremely more boring. And the studying, and the working, and the training, and the exercising is more boring. Sometimes I think this is a bigger level. Even socializing, it becomes more boring. Okay, if you socialize with someone that's, like kind of, you're just socializing. I'm saying like socializing with friends. You know what I mean? Because if you think that's more boring, socializing with some random person that you don't know, I can understand. But yeah, it's a problem. I think a lot of these days, what happens is that a lot of times friends are like, they start talking, but then they get a little bit bored and they start to scroll on TikTok because they're bored. It's like talking with a friend is not even like entertaining enough to you sometimes. You get what I mean? I remember sometimes a friend of mine, an old friend of mine, he used to be in my room. It looks like gay, but he used to come up to my room, and sometimes we used to, I don't know, I was doing music and shit, you know what I mean? I was like, yeah, let's do this. He would come out here, but sometimes we were just like kind of lazy, and he would just be like this. It's kind of like this, just scroll on TikTok all the time, you know what I mean? And it would fucking piss me off. I'm like, motherfucker, get out of there. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a problem. It's a big problem that a lot of people don't talk about. And basically what happened when I did dopamine detox, which is basically you consume less things that give a lot of dopamine, the more simple things became more fun. Just being alive became more fun. That's something that you want. And the problem as well that I heard Andrew Beheman say, it's a topic that I'm even talking more, talking about a lot of this in the story, whatever. Not story, whatever. Forget what I said, but yeah. Because it's a really big problem, this shit. This is kind of a reason sometimes that people get real depressed and even kill themselves and shit. Which is, this is the biggest problem. It's when the video games don't even give you that much stimulation to you. I remember that when I started playing Fortnite especially, it gave me a lot of dopamine, and I think basically 2020 amazing, 2021 amazing, I think 2022 kind of amazing. But I remember like that I had like those golden eras of playing video games with friends, and then after a while it became kind of more boring, and then I got the PC Gamer, and I thought it was going to be way more fun, but it was not even. No, basically the most fun times I had was kind of some shit computer, you get what I mean? And the biggest problem is when not even video games is it's fun to you. So what happens is that, okay, life's not is already kind of boring to you. Video games not that much entertaining to you. So you kind of have that shitty life that nothing kind of entertains you, and you just have kind of this shitty life. Yeah, studying, everything, training, working, it's way more boring. This is a big problem. A lot of people don't talk about this shit, and TikTok is a fucking TikTok Reels, whatever. It's one of the. How I'll say, like, it's one of the cause. Oh fuck my. It's one of the causes for this problem. Okay. Because I remember when I started watching TikTok, you know what I mean? I didn't even like it, but I was just like addicted to it. Like, I don't know, that shit just pisses me off. Fuck you, TikTok. This is gonna be the thumbnail. Fuck you, TikTok. Yeah. Okay, let me give an analogy. Like, it's probably an analogy, but as well. But remember, I always like to do this. But like, imagine you're in Minecraft, and you just be kind of lazy. Yeah, how would you just eat there? You don't do that much things. Maybe build a little bit. Like, you don't even build a house. Imagine to live on Minecraft. The way you live the kind of your life. Basically, you don't do that much shit. It's kind of boring, right? On Minecraft, for you to have fun, you have to build, you have to be adventurous, you have to do shit. This is exactly the same thing in your life. The real reason can kind of be stimulating is because you have the video games that are the Netflix that gives you that sensation. But if you don't have that shit, if you're not building shit, if you're not being adventurous, trying to getting goals, your life's going to become boring. The only reason why it's not boring because you have things that entertain you. Okay, it's kind of a shit analogy, but you understand. Like, yeah, if I was on Minecraft, for me to be like, because I don't have like the PC Gamer there, for me to have fun. Okay, it's kind of, you understand, because I'm talking about video game, and but yeah, for you to be fun, you have to do things. That's exactly the same thing you have to do in real life. So look, but in Minecraft, you know, I'm giving an example on Minecraft so you can understand, because maybe you're like, they're still just one digit IQ, but yeah, it's the only reason why your life it's kind of fun. It's because you have those things. But once you don't have those things, if you don't have those things like the goals, the being adventure, the pursuing things, it's boring. In Minecraft, if you are not pursuing things, building things, or whatever, killing zombies, it's boring. It's the same thing in fucking real life, you know what I mean? Especially for a man, because especially for a man, you have to really be focused on your goals and shit. And it's kind of obvious as fuck. That's the thing. It's obvious as fuck. But basically, what you have to do, pick up. The thing is, it's basically, I don't even have to tell you what you have to take action, because it's basically the things that you wrote down that you don't want to do anymore. Basic, I think probably, or at least do less on the distractions, is exactly the same thing. Those things that you probably put on the things that you want to do less or not do anymore, like playing video games and things like that. Those are the things that are going to help you, so that you'll make your life more fun. Because if you're always used to this type of dopamine, when you are going to do something that gives you less dopamine, it's more boring. When you're really used to this type of dopamine, when you do like some training that even probably gives a little bit more dopamine than usual, because it's like nice, it's more fun. You know what I mean? Basically, I'm going to say, like, basically you have adult content, junk food, video games, Netflix, anime, which is basically the same thing. Jerking off, all of that, more what? Yeah, basic junk food, that's, yeah. What gives you more dopamine these days? Like drugs, alcohol, all partying, all of that shit. You have all that shit, and basically the way I did this, it's that I don't have basically nothing. And that's where I get it. And that's where I gain the advantage. And after a couple of days, what you're going to notice, what I've noticed, is that just life is better. So I can just focus on the things that I want to focus. It can be kind of difficult knowing that you could play video games and it's fun and it's easy and it's not hard. You know what I mean? It's where I gain the advantage. You know what I mean? I don't waste the time on that shit. Of course, I still watch some content, like some educational content, like podcasts and like that, or some videos like this. You know what I mean? That's why I create videos like this. Of course, I do that. I listen to music as well. But yeah, and you think maybe it's not fun? Maybe after like starting to do this, when you start to do this, it can seem that's less fun. But once you for a couple of days you start being used to having the less dopamine, and you start putting the work to pursue the things you want, you're going to notice, yeah, I actually like have fun. I have. You know what I mean? So yeah. The fourth step for not being lazy, for being productive, mind energy. This is going to help you a lot, especially for the people that had the problem that I had, that I still have. But there's a way to solve that. Okay? But even for the people that don't have this problem, can help us out. But yeah, basically, mind energy, okay? Mind energy can come from like boredom. Basically, dopamine detox is going to help that. But yeah, mind energy I'm talking about here, like, do you have the energy? Do you have the capability to do the work, the hard things, okay? I remember that my brain didn't really used to work that much. You know, I even told that at the beginning. I remember. Yeah, I told that. So it's maybe you relate to this. It's like you're reading like a sentence of a book. You read a second sentence, and by the time you're reading that second sentence, you have forgotten the first sentence that you've just read. If you relate with that, you can understand what I mean. And it's like an ADHD and whatever the fuck the name is. That it's not like really that you have that. It's something that you're putting in your body that it's making you basically more than. That's how I can describe it. You get what I mean? So I had that, and then when I stopped eating this specific thing, that's when things started to change. You get what I mean? And I even want to be more extreme on this, but it does fucking help. It's basically like consuming some shit that just makes you fucking more down. That's fucking it. It's like taking a drug that makes you more down. It's basically it. So what it is? Okay, the first thing it could be, it's basically some shit food, junk food, processed food, basically junk food, processed food, sugar, and all of that shit. Yes, that shit is making you more down. If you don't know, so you saw just this. I'm just saying here, like, just reminding you, you get what I mean, because maybe you forgot, you probably did something, you're probably not doing it 100%, so if you don't have that, you're just going to be more smart. That's how it works, okay? But I think here is that even though you don't consume those things, carbs do as well. Just to warn you, here, it's not everybody, okay? So there's some people that it doesn't fucking change that much. So for those people, they're like, oh wow, carbs make you more, damn, but you make you. And I remember to experience this recently. So I ate carbs at lunch, feeling kind of tired. Oh fuck no! And then for dinner I just ate basically eggs and meat, and it was so good, the fucking feeling, because I ate it. And I felt full, but I felt my brain was working. You get what I mean? I just felt that. You get what I mean? And I remember another day, that basically I think it was the next day, that I didn't eat carbs at lunch. And of course I was still more tired than morning, which is the normal thing. It's like your brain will always, not just because you're full, but especially at the afternoon, it's early afternoon, it's normal that you'll be more tired. But I felt less tired. I felt my brain was working better. And the next day that I ate some carbs, sometimes I can't control it because I'm not on my own house still. I felt more tired, you get what I mean? And if you will relate with this, try it out. And it doesn't mean that it's all carbs, okay? So how will you know what carbs do this to your body? It's kind of extreme, but that's what you gotta do. For 2 to 3 days, you have to just be on a keto diet, which is basically fats, proteins, vegetables, and fruits. You just eat that for 2 to 3 days, and basically after 2-3 days, it's good that you notice that if you're feeling less dumb, basically if you feel that your brain is more capable of doing work, that you're less lazy, that you have more energy. If you feel that way, okay, yeah, the carbs were a problem. If you don't feel that way, then you don't have to continue to do this, but yeah. Even though it kind of helps you in terms of health as well, but yeah, because turns out that meat actually is the most healthy thing, but yeah, side point, but yeah. So, okay, if you feel kind of more like that your brain works better, more capable, less lazy, with more energy after 2-3 days doing the keto diet, basically what you got to do is to try one by one a carb that you used to eat, for example, then pasta. You try it, then feel how you feel. And because you're already 2 to 3 days without eating any carbs, then because you're really in a strict diet, that's when you can notice the difference. Because if you're eating a lot of shit and you eat more another shit food, you don't really notice. That's the problem. So that's basically you add that and you feel straight away. If you feel kind of terrible, you better don't. It's good that you don't continue to that. Then you consume maybe another carb, and you're like yeah, I actually don't feel really more tired from this. And you do this one by one, and then after trying all the things, you're going to know, okay, these things make me tired and give me brain fog, basically. My brain doesn't work, basically. And these things don't. That's it. That's basically it, you get what I mean? And because the thing is, like, for the people that have this problem to be productive, it's way more difficult. And now in the morning, because like the thing is, I don't even eat in the morning. Like I don't eat carbs, I don't eat shit, nothing. My brain works very well. I eat a lot of carbs. It gets the afternoon feeling terribly tired, and that's when I'm more. I tend more to procrastinate. I have not been procrastinating for a big while, but I tend to procrastinate more. And for the people that have a lot of this problem, imagine like you live all your life. You before you're going to do work, you eat a lot of carbs and shit. You're always doing with that, and then you're just going to be lazy. And you're like, oh, why I'm lazy? It's so hard. And you look at people like, oh, for you to do the work is kind of easy. I mean, but like for me, so hard, my brain doesn't work. It's just that you're suffering from this problem. I mean, a lot of people don't talk about. A lot of people, not even docs, they probably not talk about that because on the food program it's saying that the carbs are the most important shit, which is fucking completely fucking wrong. But yeah, so that's it. I hope I helped you better. Take action on this. Don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, take action on all this because I promise you're going to go from lazy to productive. So yeah, hope I helped you better and bye.